And as I listened to her discuss the fact that pretty privilege does exist, that her as a woman knew it existed, and when she went out and dressed herself up and did the best she could and guys ignored her, she was invisible, then a woman that she focused a lot on skin color, and I'm going to dispel that too, because it's not skin color, it's how you look, because there are some beautiful women that are extremely chocolate skinned. It's your appearance and your energy. But what she had to admit is that I don't even try. I don't go out. I don't do this. I don't do that. Things that I've been saying for years and getting so much pushback from my critics. Here this woman is saying it, and all of a sudden all these women in there co-signing and high-fiving. Well, let's talk about it. Let me make this real simple. Ladies, understand that being a high-value man is like having pretty privilege, except being a high-value man lasts a hell of a lot longer. Bottom line, being a high-value man lasts a hell of a lot longer than pretty privilege. Pretty privilege is something you're born into. A woman has to just maintain her value. A man has to acquire his value and keep it. So ladies, understand something. If you were born with a natural advantage, congratulations. You got to keep it, and it expires. Becoming a high-value man is something you have to choose to do. That's number one. And then number two, many women have admitted, I'm going to read it because here it is. Here it is. I'm going to just read it. Ladies, is being unpretty like being invisible? Being unpretty, meaning you go up to the club and they ask you for your ID and they tell you what the cover charge is. You ain't seen no parts of VIP. You down there with the fellas. Is being unpretty like being invisible? And if so, what do you do to be seen by the market? And this is where a lot of this masculine energy is coming from. A lot of this acting out. A lot of this foolishness. Go ahead and mute you. That's where a lot of these people come from. So, and the thing is, women know these things exist, but here's the final question I asked. Whether you like it or not, whether you like how high value is defined or not, ladies, the overwhelming majority of women, when they're being honest, admit they truly want a high-value man. They want a high-value man. They want a man that's valued. They want that lifestyle. The question is, can you keep him? Can you keep him? And more importantly, do you really know what a high-value man, do you know what it really means to be Mrs. High-Value Man? Because a lot of times women just talk about it, you know. No, I don't want a high-value man per se, but yeah, I want to be able to have 2 or 3 kids, and I don't want to have to work to pay significant bills, and I want to live a certain kind of lifestyle to where I'm only have to be responsible for 10% of my overall family financial security for my lifetime. All right. Do you know what it comes with being Miss High Value? What it takes to be Miss High Value? To be Miss High Value. Because Mr. High Value, he wants his mirrored opposite. It's called assortative mating. And the problem is, the real problem is, the majority of women have been told that everybody gets a trophy, that you're all 10s. Think about how many women come over here talking about, I'm a 10, 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 I'm a 10. Yeah. Roll your ass up into a place with truly high-value men and see if you're really a 10. And by me telling women what I see in my assessment, I've been called a misogynist. I hate women. Of course, you're gay. Everything else. And now women are starting to come to the reality that with the birth rates dropping, that women who are unseen, women who recognize that, you know, they're doing these, I'm freezing my eggs and all this carrying on. and you're waiting until you way in your 30s, early to mid 30s to even try to think about a husband. And really, women are coming to the reality that I waited too long. I waited too long to be waited too long to be average, and I'm not feminine. I'm not any of the things that a man wants. You got women who are in their 30s recognizing this is it. So, bottom line, pretty privilege exists. And the thing of it is, ladies, for the women who get upset with the women who have pretty privilege, you can't do anything. You need to overperform in femininity, friendly, fitness. That's what would be best. It would be better for you to become fit, feminine, friendly. Because you're born with what you're born with. See, as a man, we understand that. As a man, we understand that. A man who's short doesn't sit back, man, I wish I was tall. A guy who's a shorter guy, he knows what he's, a guy who's maybe not as smart. Men have to accept our limitations. And this is one of the biggest problems today. And this, everybody gets a trophy, don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. All women are 10s. What it's made is it's made a group of women who are entitled. They think they want to go out in the world and get those things. They've been told their entire life that they're 4.0. They've been told, and human beings have expectations, as they should. They go out into the market and say, I want you to treat me like my father and my mother and the world told me. And men are like, no, because men have choice. And men are saying, when that woman who's actually pretty comes through the door, we're going to hold the door open for her. We're going to turn our conversation that way. You can't change it. You can't shame men into it, because the problem isn't men. The problem is you ladies, you've been lied to. This womanist, feminist movement to tell you to get out there and compete with men in education and career attainment and things like that has the thing you should be angry with. Your average looking grandma had your average looking grandfather, and they were happy for 40, 50 years. And so did every other average at best woman before your grandmother's generation. But post baby boomer, they tried to change the rules and try to say a man should judge a woman based upon, and that's not how it works. It is not how it works. So don't be upset with the men for choosing pretty women, because you all want high value men. Think about it. My show's been going on for the better part of a year. And you can probably count on one hand and have some fingers to spare how many women truly say they don't really truly want a man who's making enough to pay all the bills, to pay the majority of the bills, to cover most of it. They don't want their money to have to matter. All right, let's get into it. Ladies, pretty privilege exists. Do you want what it, and let's say you're a 6 to an adjustable 6. You can play in that pretty privilege area, but are you ready to do what comes along with that? Are you ready to have to compete? Are you ready to have to defend your territory, fend off all the women, the other thousands, the hundreds of thousands of women coming after your men on a daily basis? Are you willing to sit back and understand he has options, and it's up to you to make sure that he comes home? See, you've been told that it's his job to put you on a pedestal, and look, there will be no other way to really explain how mean and ornery and how difficult and disagreeable and how spicy and sassy so many women are today if they didn't think that eventually somebody would take it. Shout out to BGS. When they talk about the divest movement, he says, it looks like men have divested before. That's why the birth rate's dropping. So now, ladies, I've got a notion. This isn't from me. BGS said this. He's like, ladies, back in the day, when a woman wanted to get a man, she had to court him. She'd send him a pie or send him a meatloaf or something. Ladies, this is the world your mothers, and this is what y'all fought for. It's what you fought for. Because at the end of the day, your sexual marketplace value is what it is. Sounds like a lot of work. Buy a dog and die alone. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this. Sounds like a lot of work. This is a modern lazy woman. That's what it is. See, Robbie has been, I'm pinning you up, not that I know you, but I want you to understand. See, women don't have any problem with a man having to go out there to become the top 10%, the best version of himself. And see, look at all the women who are angry with me asking all these questions. Or who are you? Are you a 10 or something and so forth? Women who are really, truly happy don't get angry at the truth. Women who are truly happy don't get angry at the truth. And this woman talks about, this sounds like a lot of work. Well, buy a dog and die alone. Ain't nobody, see, that's the thing. There was a woman on TikTok who got angry that her and her friends went to the club and wasn't nobody checking for them. These millennials, Gen Z and youngers, they ain't got nothing for y'all. They are bottom line. They're like, whatever. So if it sounds like a lot of work, go get a girlfriend. That's where there's compound living, platonic marriage. Oh, and even and when I break this down tomorrow, when she talked about the fact that she hangs out with her gay male friends to get validation, understand something. This is not mine. This is something that has been known for a while. But women need attention like fish need water. Women need our validation. And that's why I think it's funny when say women talk about, I don't need no man. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You need our validation because being validated by men lets a woman know where she ranks. That's why that woman, when she went in there dressed in her best Fashion Nova, her tiara and all this other, she was prom ready and went in there and everybody and what happened? She got no response, so much so that she's like, well, maybe it's the game is on. Maybe it's a bunch of dads. Maybe there's a time off. Maybe this, maybe that. She made up all these reasons. Then her friend came through the door. Her friend that she said was light-skinned with all the long, pretty hair. And, of course, she focused on her skin tone, not realizing that that woman was just pretty because there are some pretty dark-skinned women that don't have any problem with pretty privilege. I'm going to have them on the channel, too. So when you see pretty dark-skinned women, pretty is pretty. And there's some unattractive light-skinned women too. And her friend came in and she got all this attention. And then she's like, well, what happened? How'd you meet your husband? At the bar? And she said her friend was like, I met him out at the bar. Like, duh. See, women with pretty privilege don't tend to realize they have a privilege. They tend to not realize how difficult average women have it.